Welcome back to another episode of Data Life where successfully, possibly, sealing the new spirit and yet also completely destroying everything around her, having to relive the years of torture while under a certain megalomaniac called Junibu. But well, at least he now has the powers he seeks. But for how long, and what's he going to use it for? Is it going to be straight back to the status quo and normal in no time flat? Or is this actually a danger we have to take care of? Let's see if they have to skip anything or condense it. Or it actually gets the screen time it deserves. Let's sit down, grab a drink to find out. And of course, several of the main big questions that have been raised recently. All of the spirits used to be actual humans. And over quite some time period as well that they were transformed into spirits. So, because we had such a powerful tool and asset at their disposal, the book of knowledge, God take it away before they just uncover all of the plot elements. Some interest. What was with that slow walk in? What have you got behind your back? A question that is not safe to answer. 30. That sounds worse. Uh-huh. And how is this going to help in whatever endeavor the teacher is trying to get done? Ah, I see. So now you're contemplating her own misfortunes. His look of abject horror was too good. A long break away somewhere in a padded room, probably. Although, right. Well, as you wish. Just off by a matter of meters. Looks like no more spellcraft for her. But I think point her in the way of Westcott. See what she can accomplish. A key? Are we fighting Heartless now? Who knew that Sora became a spirit? I have no idea if that means anything in Kingdom Hearts because I haven't played them. But as throwaway joke, like comedic relief characters, the teacher just on her constant romantic fiesta, the downturn in any sort of attention to her. No wonder she got attached to Shido on that unfortunate encounter so long ago. But the fact that it is brought back once in a while just for, remember, haha, and a way to introduce this new spirit dropping a rock in the nearby vicinity. But good thing it was in the middle of the courtyard. Didn't cause any structural damage to anything. But why choose there and why send an asteroid? Or meteorite? Oh, it happened all across the globe. Gotcha. Where is that? Somewhere middle of the UK. Nothing to be worried about. Okay. Floating girl in space. Flashbacks to Port Robinson's shelter. I thought she was about to look at the camera. And she knows she's being witnessed. So... We're going from meeting Toka and energy wave sword slashes to now fighting in space with a magical girl. Well, locking it in place. Yeah, useful. I can see why Westcott would want that. But if you got to do each one individually, might be a while. That's just trying to get rid of them all. Unless she has a vortex black hole. Unless she has a vortex portal. Just send it back to her attackers. It seems very useful for, like, straight on fighting purposes. So far, just locking stuff and opening portals. Nothing really too esoteric. And just dumped off the remnants down there. Cleaning up the atmosphere while she's out there. Just put on a spacesuit, Shido. Right, so we get... he's got a headset on. So we got VR Shido for the episode. This would have been quite useful for several other spirits. He's getting into it a little much, isn't he? Forgetting completely that it was a 3D projection. Which also means he can die as many times as he wants over here. Well, just keep trying until she gets tired. Yes, let's use that extra level of precaution in the future. Because up here is somewhat of a ghost. I was about to say, why didn't she strike down the camera? But then again, with all the floating debris, it could just be Mukuro. 2 seems a little full. 2 seemed a little forward, and then I read the last one. An overwhelming majority. Cool. Considering that she seems somewhat detached, almost like origami. Yeah, so what's the harm that could happen? He's already been killed 5 times. Just press it a little. Yeah, you just ruin your future potential relationship with her. I just thought, is it more embarrassing saying these things in person to the spirit, or saying them in a 3D projection while surrounded by all of these people in the same room? I mean, they are witnessing it anyway later if he was out there, but what was that inquisitive little head tilt? Was it other spirits or helping? Oh, mission failed. Aha. Oh, I thought she was going to be like, yeah, no, it's safe enough, rather than, I like it up here, it's peaceful. Apart from the unpleasant occasions when they come to attack her. Maybe in the next 3D projection, bring her a board game or something. No, anger, excitement, delight, joy, love. Yeah, if her fluctuations of emotions didn't change that would be why. So long ago. More than our manga friend. So one that wants to avoid any heartbreak or upset, I guess. She is not quite like the others. One that is content with the vastness of space. It does seem like, with the failures to go and get her, maybe it won't. Fair. Yep, that's a good enough reason just to say, alright, see you. Ah, she found the camera. How did we get a... Really? After that talk, we had that sound effect? Yeah. If she's closed off her heart to all sorts of feelings and emotions, and somewhat baseline enjoys being up there, it'll cost Westcott a lot to get stuff up into space to try and get her. Doesn't seem like it's a trouble. As long as she doesn't keep pelting the Earth with fragments of ships and metal. So you'll just have to somehow make it so that the seal on the heart becomes undone. At this point, why aren't they included on these kind of events and meetings? Might have some sort of interjection that may help, considering they are spirits and have gone through something similar. Uh-huh. And at which point the Earth will stop spinning, and therefore vast amount of changes to how we know life on the planet as we know it. Is this another projection, or does they actually just get teleported over here? No more needing to stick around in the old model. Kind of preferred the one before. It was less Apple storefront. Aha. Now it's got your very own AI helper. I went too far with this one. And is this ship AI going to also give a few suggestions about conversations that Shido could have on the with the spirits? No food or drink? Ah. Shut it down. It's going too far now. Well, now it's out in the open. Looks like there's some changes to be had around here. Chairman Elliot Woodman. Seems to ring a bell to her, though. It's the guy in the limo. Or, blacked out car at least. And not going to follow that up with anything as... It's with his funding and help that this entire thing was possible. Yeah, let's just not tell him about the means and methods about how he's been going around doing it. Hopefully he wasn't ahead and forefront of that as well. And then he realised, this company isn't something he wants to be with, and then fractured off. Then you wouldn't have needed all of this and... Well, not anymore, but there are certain things that she probably went into before. And somewhere along the line parted ways. So Westcott and Ellen split off. This guy and a sister split off, so half and half. 2 coins, 2 sides of the same coin kind of thing. Are there some things that don't need to be... I do. He did say the moment he laid eyes on the Spirit of Origin. And yet, in his current condition, wasn't able to do anything for her. So therefore set up this entire organisation. I mean, love is as good a reason as any, I guess. As long as the heart doesn't grow stale. Huh? Is his eyes not as good as they used to be? The boy. So many questions that just got raised there. They've just built this thing. And are already under attack. He's got the book. Really? They have just gone for the same layout, just darker metal. Now, battle stations, everyone. Yeah, the key blade opening her heart. Stepping out into a mire. Why can he create a swamp? He really is enjoying this, isn't he? Pocket dimension or transposed or just, sunk into the floor. Let's hope that, it doesn't need to wash your clothes after sinking and whatever that was. But yeah, several questions were raised with that one. You look like that boy. What boy? Who the fuck are you talking about? We knew there was something about Shido that was raised a while ago, but now having that forefront. Is he a... I don't know what the word would be. Is he a mirror of someone that was actually pivotal before as well? I'm guessing Shido being the core of this and the housing of so much spiritual power wasn't by accident. But how much was preordained? And why him? I feel like we're going to be finding out fairly soon. Or at least it's opening up those questions for a little bit later. There are so many spirits that we've seen so far that have segregated themselves off to not get hurt. Like Miku hating all men for, granted, some vile things that happened against her. Otogami's plight. Kind of just withdrawn within herself for everything that she did. Being able to just kind of switch off. No emotions anymore. Cool. I'm just going to float. It doesn't seem like a bad existence, actually. I mean, if she has no need to eat or sleep or drink... Well, sleep doesn't matter, but eat or drink. and just gets to kind of see the world happen below her. What's wrong? Yeah, as long as they can stop Westcott from interjecting with ships and robots every now and again. Maybe she can just stay out there for a bit. Granted, it's obviously not the healthiest, so getting her to enjoy all sorts of emotions, the both good and bad. But again, that's just from an idealist point of view. Maybe no emotions is the correct outlook. Also, with Westcott having some sort of impossible power, this book of everything, it's not just, oh, I get to learn secrets. No, it's, I can pretty much be a dark flame dragon master, whatever it was. Yeah, okay. But with now the funding and willpower to actually follow through with it, that's almost terrifying. I don't suppose that he's just going to want to have a little chat with our little wheelchair sugar daddy. Considering he probably parted on quite a disagreement on how spirits should be used and maintained. Also, the fell in love with the spirit of origin. Pretty sure that's going to be one-sided. How do I know? Well, have you seen the spirit of origin recently? Don't think they've tried visiting. Also, if it is the case that all spirits were originally human, yeah, that's... Well, I don't know why I think that was it would be worse now, but it seems worse knowing that they all used to be human before experimentation took place and before injection of actual spiritual powers, etc. If they were beings of energy and not really much else, then I don't think they really have much human rights, which makes the experimentation easier to swallow. But this show, I think, is in a swing now where I'm behind it. It's mixing up the comedy and dumbness, the teacher, the friend, most of the members of Ratosca, mixing that in well with the dire situation and more serious tone of it all. That's where I think Daily Life kind of shines. At least for me. But of course, I think we can all wish for a little more space combat. As long as the world doesn't stop spinning. Is it the spin of the world that is actually giving the Earth its magnetic field? Because as soon as that comes to a halt, we're wasted. Some things do seem better in perpetuity and just staticness. I don't think space-time is one of them. Still, this show is something to watch and we're only heating up, so hopefully I can see you for more of it. If I entertained you at all, if you enjoyed this one, let me know. Leave a like and a comment down below. Consider subscribing to the channel. Maybe even use the links in the description to join onto my Discord. But definitely for now, get yourselves a little break. Rest up well. And I'll see you for the next one.